Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy M.K.S here, back here with third and penultimate part of my ideas for Black History Month for Sundays, as I normally like to stick to a certain theme on certain days. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it. In the thumbnail, I tried to get 2 out of my 3 cats, 2 smaller ones, into the picture, but one was like near the laptop, near the keyboard, but it wasn't in view of the camera, so I only got one of them. But anyway, just a side note. Anyway, I'd love to read your suggestions, ideas, suggestions, and whatnot, and any links you have, any ideas you have, and whatnot for supporting the Black community. What you think about the idea of other POC or minorities or non-WASPs or whatnot supporting the Black community, especially in America, in February, possibly each year. Hopefully, this will be an annual thing, all being well, for as long as I'm able to do so. And I'd love to find out events that are happening for Black History Month, and like to share Google links and things from YouTube and whatever other source. And if people can share those sorts of things and any ideas or anything that can, basically anything that can benefit the Black community, it'd be great. But there's so many different links and resources and things like that, and there's only 24 hours in a day, so it's difficult to read them all and listen to them all and whatever. But yeah, if you do have any links, it'd be great. Even if I can't see them myself, maybe other people can get involved. So basically anything that will benefit the Black community in, especially in America, in February would be welcome by me, and I'm sure by African Americans themselves and whatnot. So yeah, if you can think of any ideas for supporting them, and I'd love for people to get involved in the discussion of how to support the Black community for success. So here goes. Here are ideas, pointers, thoughts, plans, or whatever you want to call them, number 21 to 30. So I'll say this is a penultimate one. And please do get involved. As I say, please post any links, any of your own videos or whatever about Black History Month, anything about Black History Month and Black empowerment, basically, mainly with the theme of supporting, encouraging, and helping the Black community to be as successful as possible. I suppose support and help means the same thing. But anyway, here goes. So number 21, I'd love to find out about, and to encourage others to find out about and share, most importantly, things about historical success amongst the Black community, so that, which reminds me, on Wednesday I forgot to, or didn't get around to covering like Black Wall Street. I'd love to react to things about Black Wall Street, but there's only one Wednesday left of this month. This month is pretty much over. It's the last full week of this month, so I didn't quite get as many things as I'd like to have done in terms of sharing ideas, but anyway, it is what it is. But historical success, I hope, will inspire and encourage, motivate and whatnot, whatever the difference is between inspire and motivate, future generations of Black people to achieve success, especially in America. And once again, I would love for people to share those things amongst each other, and those who wish to support and empower the Black community. And again, I think other minorities supporting them would be pretty good, and possibly even quite sensible, because it means in the future you could have each other, like they could have each other's back. So if Hispanics, Latinos, Asians, and other groups, mixed race people like myself, and whatnot, support the Black community, maybe when there's Hispanic Heritage Month, or things to do with Latinos, Hispanics, I think that's pretty much Latinos/Hispanics. Some people might say they're different groups, but or mixed race people, or Asians, or whatever other group, whenever they need help or whenever they want to celebrate stuff, Black people can return the favor, so they can support each other. And I think having a common enemy should unite people together. Although you could say it's a bit of a sad reason to have to unite, but I suppose I call it turning a negative into a positive. But again, historical success stories hopefully will inspire future generations. Number 22, on that note, I hope to look at how to support and empower people. A lot of people say, for instance, with Black History Month, they say that people talk too much about slavery and negative things, and colonialism, not doing very well here, however you pronounce it. But I think it would be good to look in the future about into looking to things like Black superheroes. I know some people have tried to make have made comic heroes, Black superheroes, because they felt they were underrepresented in like Marvel Comics and DC Comics and whatnot. So maybe that's something that Marvel Comics, DC Comics, and others, and basically creators generally could get involved in, like making Black superheroes and things like that, and basically role models for people to look up to, and that kind of thing. So hopefully in the future there'll be more about Black businesses startups, SMEs, and even bigger businesses, success stories basically, and that kind of thing. Looking into the future, and it won't be so much about negativity or pessimism. And I hope people will understand it's not about playing the, or I don't think it should be about playing the victim. And those are certainly not the ideas I talk about. I talk about supporting the black community to achieve their potential and do many great things, and that kind of thing. Number 23. One of the things I wish to talk about is like what individuals, organizations, associations, businesses, potential investors, for instance, well, I suppose most businesses invest and whatnot, could do to support, empower, uplift, and basically invest into and sponsor the black community, especially in America in February, and maybe annually, like companies like Starbucks, Apple, Amazon, and maybe even international companies like the PIF, Alibaba, and others could invest into the black community in America in every February. So they could support, maybe I'd love to support 40 black-owned startups in every possible country, especially America itself in February, and or as soon as possible, really. It'd be interesting if we could support 40 or even more, or as many as possible, really. I know I stick to that number 40, but it could be as many as possible. So I'd love to see like investors, how they could be encouraged to invest in the black community. Again, maybe they could be tax exemptions or whatnot, to put it simply, and things like that, which could be incentives, tax incentives, sorry, for investing in the black community, to put it simply, let's say. And if the black community unites, maybe it will be more investable. So, and people will want to invest in and sponsor the community more, and they can show what they can achieve and prove racists wrong when racists say they're criminals or whatever other negative stereotypes there are. They could change those stereotypes around. So they could be good community unifying leaders who could talk about cutting crime and encouraging investment in those communities and how it would benefit, and maybe talk about maybe crime doesn't always pay. I don't say crime doesn't pay, but in the long run, I suppose some people might argue it doesn't pay, or certainly not with like happiness and joy and things like that. But even like investors might not want to invest in an area which has more crime and things like that, for instance. But I think it'd be cool to see what companies and investors and whatnot, even individuals and whatnot, could do to invest in the black community in America, especially. And maybe there could be some sort of competition between them, and each one would be encouraged to talk about what they are going to do for the black community in America, for black communities like Atlanta, where there's a lot of African Americans and that kind of thing. I think it's called the Black Mecca, so there's lots of African American success stories there. So again, I hope that would encourage, if they unite and work together, cut crime, and maybe community leaders talk about tackling poverty, crime, criminality, homelessness, and that kind of thing in black communities. It would be pretty cool. Number 24, I would love for black people around the world to network together and support each other. And again, I think by supporting each other, that would encourage others to invest in, sponsor, donate to, and just generally support their communities, which would obviously be something that could be incentivized for their PR. And maybe what is done, what black people from one country could learn from those in another, so they could learn from each other internationally. Number 25, there could also be summits for black people around the world where they could find places where they could host them, and maybe in places like South Africa or America itself, or in parts of Africa or parts of wherever else in the world, they could, especially where there are lots of black people, they could meet up and invite people around the world, from around the world, to sort of meet and support each other. Another thing, actually, I suppose I could have included in point number 21, as the saying goes, 21 again, is that a lot of African Americans could do like a DNA test to find out where their ancestry originates from, because I know a lot of African Americans have done that, but maybe more could be encouraged, and all possible African Americans could be encouraged to see where their roots come from, and things like that. I think that might give them a lot of interest, and it could be something that encourages them to support where their ancestry comes from, whether that's Nigeria, Gambia, Kenya, or wherever else, or maybe even a mix of different nations. Some of them might even have more European ancestry than they know, or even Asian, or whatever ancestry. But it'd be quite interesting, and especially if they made videos. I'm sure there are some videos like that on YouTube. I haven't seen any recently, but I'm sure I've seen some in the past, or briefly skimmed over them. But I'm not the most patient to watch videos, even though it's like writing. I don't like to read a lot, but I do love to write. I do love to make videos, but I'm a bit impatient to watch them properly. I don't have the attention span, and I don't like movies that much, but I love to make my own. So anyway, but yeah, it'd be cool to see if they had their own black summits or something like that. Just kidding, trying to have a bit of humour. But anyway, moving on, number 26, I think it'd be cool to hear about the fors and against and fors for reparations, #reparations and things like that. Again, I think tax exemptions or tax cuts and even tax incentives for potential investors to invest in the black community could be a form of reparations. And supporting nations like South Africa, which went through apartheid and things like that. Number 27, once again, there could be a list of the top investors into the black community, those who invest in the black community. 28, I hope they can turn their negative situations around. 29, once again, I think it'd be cool if other POC, like mixed race people like myself, as well as Asians and other groups, even Native Americans perhaps, Latinos, Hispanics, and maybe even Jewish people, could support the black community and be encouraged to. I think it'd be cool if there was networks. Maybe there could even be summits for non-WASPs, people who are not white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, as well as like people of colour. There could be different summits for those sorts of things. And I was going to say, I knew there was something I forgot. If they can't meet face to face or actually physically, they could have Zoom chats and things like that. And number 30, I'd love to read your suggestions. There are a few things I was going to say, but I'm probably going to save them for part 4. So please check that out. Anyway, peace and love. I am out.